All right, we are live. Looks like just going to be me for at least for this part of it. I'll keep an eye on the chat. We'll see if anybody else joins on this. As Brent and I have discussed, we're going to go ahead and share to kick things off. Are the current trends in learning and development, and just see how this changes every day. The current trends in L&D are primarily focused on leveraging technology to create more agile, personalized, and skill-focused training. Let's change this thing around a little bit and zoom things in here a little bit more. AI-powered personalization, generative AI for content creation, immersive learning, data-driven strategies. Then we get into some of the skill development. And for those of you who've been paying attention to some of the stuff that I put out there, it's a mindset, attitude, belief, clarity of definition, skill set, the skills that are necessary, tool set, tools that you can use to create leverage in that order always. In that order always. Upskilling and reskilling, focus on soft skills. I think this is a really big one. It's an area where I've been investing a lot of time, energy, and attention, is this leadership and coaching communication piece. And actually, I put communication and problem solving under the umbrella of leadership from a skill perspective. Leaders build leaders, leadership starts with self, and leadership is how we move forward. And those primary skills are problem solving, decision making, goal setting and execution, design, and communication. When you pull those skills together, you create a scenario where people will be able to think both critically and creatively. Critical thinking and creative thinking. Brent, I went ahead and started the day with our quick search in Google Gemini or in Gemini, and did the what are the current trends in learning and development. We have some technology pieces here. We have some skill pieces. I highlighted that I like that communication and problem solving are included here, and I actually bundle those under leadership. Got into discussion or just a quick or we just started to get into this end piece around the micro learning, social, hybrid, and other stuff here. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm just glad you got started. Phew.
Hey, we've committed to doing this daily, every day at 6 o'clock. Other than yesterday, I had to push things because of a schedule, and today, just like we'll do, if one of us is running behind, we'll hit the live button and we'll go, and here we are.
Yeah, for sure.
How you guys got pounded yesterday with rain and hail? It sounded like.
Oh yeah, we just I don't know if we got, well, I mean, if we got hail, I didn't feel it, but
yeah,
it's been raining like crazy. All my rain buckets are full, probably about 5,000 gallons worth of water. So
wow, it's kind of nice. Now you won't have to go out to the well anymore. Like you just have your own.
It's got some guts, just just turn on the hose and woo, like everybody else in the world. Hello. No, it's all right. Yeah, it's all part of rural living.
It is not. It hit late last night out here in Dallas. Like I could just hear it with a little bit of thunder and rolling rain. I think that's what the next couple of days are going to be like out here. Fortunately, the pool is indoor.
Yes,
it's kind of fun. A lot of these schools out here, they've got these amazing indoor facilities, like mezzanine sections where you're sitting above the pool. Everybody's got a good view. And
now, do they ventilate them better than they used to? Because I can remember them, like, especially in the wintertime, it would just get all foggy, and the chlorine would just like hang in the air. You could smell it, and sometimes it felt a little unbearable.
Yeah, well, I mean, they have. You've seen the Big Ass Fans. Have you seen that company out there? Are you familiar with them?
Mm-mm.
So there's a company out there that has these giant fans, and the name of the company is Big Ass Fans, and they've got like a donkey,
Oh, like those
a
big
donkey.
industrial fan
Yeah,
type
right.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and that's the name of the company. These fans are absolutely amazing, and so they've got a just above the mezzanine section. It's actually it's nice. You get a nice little cool breeze indoor. So yeah, you can leverage
Nice.
leverage technology to do good things,
It's
and
good
that is
things.
a good thing that they're leveraging technology for.
I love it. Well, let's go back to the news. Let me and fill me in on what you got. Did yours come up with something different today?
You know what? Actually, here we go. We're going to do it again, and we're going to do it again, and let's do this live. And this will demonstrate. Well, one of the things I think you're all going to see here when it comes to using these tools is that depending on where and when you actually run the search, you're going to get a different response. So, what are the current trends in learning and development? It'll be very interesting if the current trends change in the last 5 minutes. So, I mean, kind of the AI-driven personalization, focus on upskilling, getting into the scale. This is the one that we had. Do we have this day one? I think. Did we have
Oh
this day one?
yeah, that did show.
With a group, not group?
Just on a call, real quick, for about 20 minutes. Thank you.
Okay.
Yep.
Because we have meeting, okay?
Okay. I'm getting chased out of a room here. This is one of those other things you do when you go into a hotel and you find another place to go. It's a little bit different than the pillar place I had yesterday. And I checked the schedule. It looks like someone's not supposed to be here until 9. So we're going to see if we can squeeze out another 23 minutes.
Nice.
But it's got people freaked out. Or at least a handful of people. So immersive and experiential learning. But we did see this learning in the litho, which I think we talked about that on day one when we were talking about
Yeah.
Mosier and Conrad. And so, I mean, again, we're seeing some of the things come back up. It's not the same stuff every day, but it goes back and some of the things get repeated. So anything jump out at you as I'm scrolling through here? Brent, anything jump out at you?
So those are let's see, scroll up and let me see what the big cat, what are all of these bullet points under? Is that under that? Oh no, it's under strategic and cultural shifts. Okay, we haven't really had that over, but that's okay. I don't even want to hit that. I was just curious about it. So because I don't think my prompt that I used was key trends. I asked it for news. I was hoping what we would end up getting. So I was hoping what we would end up getting would be things like mergers and acquisitions in the industry, and with like breaking news type stuff that's going on, new product launches, new research reports, all that kind of stuff.
There we go. What is the breaking news in learning and development?
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
So there we go. We got some AI course builder tools. We got acquisitions. There you go.
I think we talked about, so I mean, if we just hit these bullets real quick, like in the AI stuff, obviously AI is huge. I think there might be a little bit of AI fatigue in the content world of L&D, and what I mean is it's almost like everybody that's writing or sharing their thoughts on L&D is writing about something that has to do with AI, and rightly so. It's the big trend in everything. But so I think there might be a little bit of that going on, and that's why a lot of this stuff pops up. But we talked about all of the different new AI content creation tools that are out there for learning and development.
Yeah.
because there were a ton of them at in the expo at DevLearn, and then of course all of the different larger vendors would have something similar, or at the very least an AI assistant that sat inside of their existing platform. So that was always the big deal. So yeah, so it's a trend, it's a thing.
I think the as you're talking about like the noise and the fatigue, it gets me to view this question, like what are some of the things that haven't changed? And one of them that comes to mind for me is we still have to get work done. We have to accomplish something, like to do something,
Right.
whatever that thing is that you have to do. So if you lack clarity on the thing you have to do, gain clarity on it. Like figure out how to gain clarity. Either talk to your boss, or talk to your customers, or talk to whoever it is that will help you gain clarity on that thing that needs to get done. And then go out and do the thing. And when you go out and do the thing, you might find that some of these tools, some of these emerging and enablement technology tools can help you do the thing better and faster. If you use the tool and you start doing the thing better and faster, keep going. If you don't use the tool and you don't do the thing better and faster, you just kind of find yourself kind of working hard, but hardly working, like not making any progress, going around in circles, then change the tool. Like that for me, that's about as simple as you can make the cutting out some of the noise. What do you think? Like, how do you cut out the noise? Or actually, well, first, do you agree with me that people just have to get work done, or people have to get work done?
Well, yeah. I mean, it was funny. It was like when I first got up this morning and started thinking about this stuff, because that's what I do. It's like there is you got your business. The business exists to provide a service. The service is a bunch of stuff that needs to get done. In order to support the stuff that needs to get done, there's a staff of people that have to support all of the clients as the business grows. So you've got a bunch of people, and they've got a bunch of work that they have to do in order to keep that business running. KTBR, keep the business running. And so there's that. There's the work of the product and the service that's being provided, and then there's the work that supports all of that. And then the overlying piece is that all of the people that perform on either part of it, either the supporting staff roles that keep the business running, or the execution of the creation of the product or the delivery of the service, is all of the people that support it and hang in there. So that's kind of, a super simple way of breaking down the work. And now you've got this AI tool that should be helping people get better at doing that work, right? It should be helping everybody, and everybody should thinking, how can I do this work better, faster, and more efficiently? The only problem is, I had this conversation with somebody yesterday on the skills side, and since there's this combination, and we've seen it in the trends reports that we've been looking at, right? There's two big themes that seem to be out. There's the AI theme, and then there's this theme around skills, right? And you should be a skills-based organization, or I forget where I saw it. I think Brandon Carson wrote about it in his newsletter, a skills first enterprise, SFE, I think was the acronym he chose for that. And the unfortunate, I wasn't even really sure if I even wanted to think this out loud, but I'm just going to say it and just see where it lands. The unfortunate fallback, or the negative side of this focus on defining the skills for a skills-based organization, is that it becomes the thing that makes it really great is also the thing that makes it really obvious when a human is necessary or not.
Hmm.
And kind of see where I'm going with this. So the sooner we decide and define all of the work that a particular role is doing, and that the skill down to the most minute skill, if you break down a human's existence inside of your organization into just a list of things, the easier it is for you to think to yourself, I wonder if I could, I'm being asked to reduce my head count, reduce my expenses because there's a downturn in the economy. Well, how could we get all of these things, these skills, then the job that's being accomplished because of these skills? How do I get AI to do it?
Mm-hmm.
Or how do I get AI to do most of it? And can I hire a human that costs less to do the rest of it?
Craig Seibert has entered the room. So, hey, Craig, thanks for dropping a note in the chat. It's good to see you. And yes, you do know these two guys, and we know you. And appreciate you. Craig is the guy who does all the logo work for us. From a design perspective, his skills are absolutely amazing, and he's the guy that we work with at Catalyst to get things done, and fortunate that he still continues to work with us, given some of the back and forth that can happen throughout the process. I think the skills piece is super interesting. There's depending on what your experience is, comfort is in pushing back, how you make decisions. These are all leadership related skills, and I'd mentioned a couple of them so early. Craig, you're on the East Coast. Time is relative. The skills. I said that to a judge once. It was not a good move. Another story for another day. The skills that you have. Oh, it's early in the AI side of things, not early in the morning. And I don't know what kind of delay we're having off of the chat versus the video, but the skills side of things.
Yeah.
If you are working inside an organization where the majority of decisions are based on what is read in a spreadsheet, you are going to be at greater risk than those that are inside an organization where decisions are made in the conversations that happen among the wetware, or the humans who are in the loop and having the discussions and having the conversations. It is the scene in Christmas Vacation when the boss removes all the Christmas bonuses and gives everybody the jelly of the month gift, right? And then the wife, while in this whole scene where the police are there inside and hopefully this isn't a spoiler alert, like the movie's been out there forever, but that scene where they're like, of all the no good cheap ways to save a buck, this is what you do. And what you realize is those decisions impact not only the people inside the business and your customers, but they impact the families associated with those people inside the business and those customers. And this is where I believe that as humans, we are going to have more agency in our ability to make decisions around the types of organizations to continue to hang out in and with. And we'll be able to find that fit faster inside organizations. Now, there's going to be a lot of crazy stuff that happens between now and then as people are looking for jobs. I mean, anybody who's looking for a job right now and has gone through some of the AI filtered hiring process of submitting a resume and hoping that you end up hitting on the right things. Or there was a story about a kid. I think it was a kid. I'll say a kid because most people are younger than me at this point in time, given that I've hit the halfway point. Is the kid hid words in his resume so that all of those words, it made it very small so that it could only be read by a machine, but the machine read the words, picked the words up, and then that person was bumped up to the top in the process. They were able to bypass a lot of the machine related things. And Brent, we'll look that up. We'll take that as an action item, see if we can find the story and find out if it's
Yeah,
real or
I
not.
totally want to see that. I've
But it's
seen a
basically-
bunch of different ones, but yeah, go ahead.
But so I think the piece that I had started this out with just before you joined on, mindset, skill set, tool set, in that order always, is going to be more and more critical. Mindset, our attitude, belief, clarity of definition. Skill set, clarity on what those skills are that are necessary, then tools to create leverage. But I can tell you, based on the companies I've had a chance to operate with and the folks that I know and the stuff that you see out in the workplace, most people go right to tools first.
Yeah.
Because it's really easy to justify a decision to spend money on a tool. It's tangible. You can check a box and you put that money in, and you can justify it under the keep the business running type stuff. So it's going to get noisy, and I think that's another one of those reasons why it's important for us to do this kind of stuff, where we share what we're seeing in the marketplace, share the real stuff, answer questions, get people on here to share a perspective. But yeah, it's going to be choice is going to be important for the endpoint to make the right choice to be in the right organization at the right time based on the alignment of values and principles and what you think, not what they think.
Yeah, and I think my point isn't to be a doomsday sayer, anything for people. It's just a reality check, really. I mean, because business is business, and if you were the person starting the business, your ultimate goal is for the money to be profitable. And if you can run your business, with less costs and get more revenue, of course you're going to do it. There's no business owner anywhere that says, I'd rather spend more money and make less, or spend more money and make the same amount. It just doesn't work that way. So my point is in the sense that you've got to to match what Craig's saying, right? It's AI is not going away. We're not, I'm not damning it as an evil thing or whatever. I'm not telling people they should be afraid of it. But now that it's here, it's not going away. Here's the reality. This is how you're seeing L&D professionals look at it and talk about it. And you're going to see some people who are on the negative side and some people who are on the positive side. But you also have to remember that there is a whole world out there. Get outside of the L&D bubble and start paying attention to how the rest of the business elements inside the company that you're already in are talking about it and working with it and seeing what it's done. And if there's a skills initiative going on, if there, you should be doing this for yourself. You should be doing this anyways, but you need to start taking an audit or an assessment of your skills. You need to audit the job that you currently have, figure out what it is that those tasks are that you're doing. Everything that is a task, everything that's sort of beyond a task that's more strategic is probably the safest of the work that you do. So, you can use the AI to figure out how to be more productive, but be able to, don't forget to show that extra additional productivity, to those folks that you report to, so that they see the value, they see that AI, how to use it, how to apply it to be more effective in the role that you're in. It's really the only you have to flex and change in exactly the same way that the business owners and executives and business leaders are trying to change and be aggressive in the way that they run the business.
And I think and Craig's point that he just put in here, I'm going to read this out loud for people who aren't able to see the chat, but he said he and his son were arguing the other day that, and he was mad. His son was mad that AI was going to start taking jobs out of the workforce and snap it back with, or he was mad. I don't know which one he was, but anyway, one of them was mad, said that the jobs were going to be taken away. And the response was, you mean like when machines started replacing workers on an assembly line, or when robots started replacing the people running the machines? Now, there's the other thing that's constant here is change. The thing that's changed, though, is the velocity of change, the speed of change, right? Like the speed of change and the speed of information, the speed of access to information. Is at a level that we've never experienced. Right now, I'm connected with to a 5G wireless hotspot. 25 years ago, I was happy to have a 56K modem that I was able to connect my laptop to, and you couldn't be on the phone at the same time while you were on the internet. And
is anybody expecting a phone call? I'm getting on the internet.
I had to get a separate line and like all of that kind of stuff. Like change is happening. Change will continue to happen. And I think the thing that we do as human beings is we communicate through the change, and we have the conversations, and we say, hey, this is what's working, this is what's not working, and this is what I'm struggling with. And if you're open with people about that stuff, you'll find out that there are a lot of other people who have the same questions.
Right.
Or there are a lot of people who just happen to be 2 steps further ahead. Like, have you ever been walking on a trail, someone's walking down the other way, and they're like, hey, by the way, there's something out there, you may want to avoid that piece, right? Like, the people who look ahead are able to come back in and say, watch out for this thing. Craig's got a question. We've got 3 minutes. Question to the group: do you have a business responsibility to let clients know when you are using AI, open sourced or closed, and when producing a service or product for that client? A moral responsibility. Brent, do you have a perspective?
Well, first, I was just going to say the underlying theme always that's going to be here for a while is we've been here before, and let's not worry about it. And the other underlying theme, to Mike's point, is that community is everything. This is where, whatever community you decide to hang out with and join talking with other people is going to help you immensely get through this thing. As far as AI, do you need to talk about it? I don't know. I still struggle with that. I think that particular question at this point is still lands in that it depends category. I think everybody should just assume some element of what they've received from somebody has an element of AI in it. These days, and maybe I'm too early in thinking that, but I think there are far too many tools out there that have now automated the conversation, chat bots. Now there's just email bots. You can literally turn an AI platform on. It'll go through your whole entire inbox, figure out how to talk like you and how you best respond. And it will read every incoming email and it will craft a response in your voice. And you can either tell it to just go ahead and shoot those off automatically, or you can say, no, let me review them. And then all you have to do is go and review your inbox. I am not a fan of those tools at all. But people are using them, and you need to know.
So the story that I like to share with folks around this practical application story that I use is we use AI tools, specifically ChatGPT. We do a little bit with like Notebook LM and some Perplexity, but the one that we use the majority of the time, if we were to do like a pie chart with where percentage of the pie is taken up, about 90% of the work that the work that we're doing with an AI tool happens with ChatGPT, and there are specific GPTs that I've created in that environment to do specific jobs. The one that gets the most use, and I share it publicly. Anybody can use this one if you want it. It's a show notes tool for the podcast, and here's what it did. It helped me fire Jen from that work. Now, the reason why it was important to fire Jen from that work is Jen didn't want to do show notes. There were times she'd be listening to episodes and she'd be scrolling through Instagram or email or whatever it was. And we just, with the quality of the show notes wasn't really there. The quality has improved significantly and the formatting has improved significantly. And I publicly share that's an example of where we're using it to do a specific thing.
Yeah.
I think that it's kind of like sharing quotes and sharing ideas. If you were not the one who came up with the quote originally, share your source material, cite that, use it and say, hey, this is where that came from, or this is what these are the giants that I stand on the shoulders of as I share information. Now, there are a lot of people who disagree with me on that. Because they'll say, well, I don't want to know what so-and-so's perspective is on this. I want to know what your perspective is on it. And this is, it's probably Catholic guilt, but I've got this view of, hey, you know what, if I'm using somebody else's work, I'm going to share that person, I'm going to mention their work. Now, at the same time, there's a lot of work that I've created that I want to be known for as we push those things out. And I think it's important to distinguish between the two, but I don't know that I would get into morals or ethics on it. I that goes a little bit further than I've really kind of thought through the piece. I can see why and how people justify the approach that they take. The question that I would ask is, are you making a conscious decision to do it or not? If you're making a conscious decision to do it, then good. If you're not making a conscious decision, you're just kind of going with the flow, then that's probably not a great thing, because
Well, it's what is the perception, right?
The power will go out, right? Like you won't have access to your Wi-Fi. You might stand in front of a blank whiteboard. Can you do the work or not without the tool? If you can't, should you be doing the work?
If you're trying to deceive people,
Yeah.
That's where the moral things comes in. I think like if you're pretending, it's like back in the day, Milli Vanilli, right? Like if you're telling the world that yes, we're the ones that sang that song and we sound exactly like that, and yes, you should love us and pay us money for that music, and then you realize, there's this thing called auto-tune, and they try to sing live and they can't sing. It's all pre-recorded and somebody else singing, or they're just auto-tuned or whatever, right? Or if you're trying to claim that you made some particular piece of art, but it really wasn't you, it was AI, then you should tell somebody. And if you're trying to claim that, you're the one that like birthed it out of your mind and you actually built it with your hands or drew it with a pen and then turned it digital or whatever, instead of just saying, hey, AI, make me an image, blah, 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 and then it made it. Okay, you can say, I'm the one that made the prompt and had the idea, but it came to fruition via AI.
Well, and there are times where it makes sense to do it to help you get maybe the first 75 yards or the first 95 yards if it can work, and then you finish it in that other piece. Like, but I thought the National Lampoon stuff was a spoiler. Then Brent drops Milli Vanilli. So spoiler alert, if you didn't know that, I am sorry that your heart was just broken.
If you need to Google Milli Vanilli, then I'm sorry too. And Craig, I knew that might trigger you. Sorry.
Brent, we've gone a little bit long.
It's okay.
We're 4 minutes past the half hour. Any other closing thoughts for folks today?
No, hey, you know what? Let's have fun. Let's be empathetic towards people. Let's hang out. Let's enjoy AI for the help that it offers. It's a new tech. It's a bull we're all riding on. grab on with one hand, throw the other hand up in the air, and let's ride for the longest 8 seconds we possibly can.
There you go. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about the conversations. I'm excited to see the chat going. Craig, thank you for jumping in here and asking some questions and sharing some thoughts. Like this is fun. I think each day we keep getting better.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Craig gets the dubious distinction of our first guest that interacted and engaged with us. So you will forever go down in the history of whatever it is that Mike and I are doing as the first one to hang with us. So thank you, Mr. Seibert. You are the man.
You are the man. Brent, we'll see you tomorrow.
Alrighty, man. Take care.